Hey guys, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome if you are brand new. So I'm going to be throwing some cards, and I feel like the theme of today is going to be your survival instincts. I feel as though deep down underneath the surface, a lot of you within the collective are going to be encouraged to get out of hermit mode, to stop. I don't want to say that you're hiding, but it's actually more that so much has changed within your world, your surroundings, and you're being asked to start living your life again. If there's one thing that I have learned in my journey of overcoming profound depression, it's that we realize how much we've not been taking care of ourselves. We realize how much effort it does take to take care of our surroundings, our physical body, those who we love and care about, children's, pets, friends, family. But whatever it is that the divine wants to talk to you about today, we have to have a look at, apparently, we have to look at wrath and growth. There's an ask for you to take into consideration. Either you're going to grow through this or you're going to get fucking angry. I was talking about depression. When our emotions are repressed or we don't feel like we can't express ourselves, we get angry, we blow up. And there's an ask right now, whoever you are today, whatever it is that I'm going to be channeling, I want you to consider challenging yourself to, live in freedom, to be yourself, because accepting anything less than mediocre is not good enough. And you are allowed to tap into that. So, if we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berry, psychic medium and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted, but they're also timeless. So please tap into your instincts. Listen to your intuition. If there's anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Do not worry about it. This message may not be for you, but if it does resonate, please let me know. Like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe. So I'm going to be asking the universe, what the fuck do you think could be going on? There's some kind of intuitive knowing that you're trying to tune into. We'll also ask what the fuck is actually going on, to try and measure where your unconscious mind and your conscious mind are in alignment, and where you could have a misalignment as well. We'll also get some information on what is it you can just release, let go, especially so you can get yourself into a situation where you can just grow and thrive without having to succumb to anger and frustration. And we'll also figure out where it is you can focus and the potential final outcome. But before I go to cut the card of death, you are going through a huge metamorphosis. The next 6 months, as Saturn retrogrades into Pisces, is giving you a chance to kind of revisit your spiritual structures. There have been a lot of karmic lessons many of you within the collective have been learning over the past 2 years, and everything's going to be culminating, coming into fruition. Like, Saturn is the taskmaster after all, and it's definitely the one that wants to call you out on your bullshit. But rather than depending on other people to call you out on your bullshit, especially if you had some really mean, toxic, passive aggressive people in your environment, this is giving you a chance to call yourself out, because first of all, you can be as nice or as mean as you want towards yourself, but it also means you can keep it inwardly, and rather than living in humiliation, you could actually embody a higher vibration of humility. After I go to cut, Seven of Swords, ooh, Seven of Swords, Two of Cups. There has been someone around you who has not been honest, and what's aggravating about saying that out loud is, this person isn't honest. Again, there's going to be an ask for the next few months to really see people for who it is that they truly are, because if you're walking on eggshells, it means that you're not being honest with yourself about how this person truly is, and you shouldn't be waiting for other people to change. It's kind of rude. If you were around someone who's constantly trying to make you change, to make you be their ideal, that's stressful, that's anxiety producing, and you never really get anywhere. You lose and the other person loses as well. but there's a real ask to center yourself, be within your own emotions, and just accept people for who they truly are, good, bad, ugly. There's an ask for some semblance of neutrality as we travel for the next, the next few weeks, I'm hearing. But my intention for this reading is, how can we get you in a good situation, sort of set up the foundation as we go through this 6 month transit so that you can just tap into yourself and remind yourself, oh, yeah, that person is just not going to support me when it comes to my spiritual awakening. This other situation is just making me angry, and I don't want to be that person anymore. And I think a lot of you are just going to learn how to fall back in love with yourself again, because you get to be the priority in all of this. So what the fuck do you think is going on? We do have the Page of Swords. And I think some of you have been waiting for some information, waiting for maybe not so much an apology, maybe an explanation. That is the challenge with the Seven of Swords. If you have been manipulated and lied to, it really actually messes with your physical body. You could feel dizzy. You may actually be magnetizing stories of conspiracy and misinformation. I feel as though the universe has been giving you signs and synchronicities to let you know that you have been deceived, but I feel like some of you are still waiting for the actual person who's deceiving you to come clean, and it's causing a lot of tension. The moment I said that, I just felt this wavy discomfort in the solar plexus. You're learning how to tap into your gut instincts. Your body is hella psychic. And when we're around manipulative people like this, they it's sort of like, it's not even they intended to do so, but it disconnects you from your body. You stop listening to yourself. You want to see the best in that other person. And then our body gets neglected. That is something I was mentioning earlier on in this video, where when we come out of depression, we kind of realize, oh wow, like my house is not properly cleaned. Oh wow, I could maybe use a shower. We skip over key critical day-to-day maintenance, our hygiene, whether if that is your physical hygiene, but there's also spiritual hygiene, making sure you can cleanse your energy at the end of the day. And for those of you who are part of my Patreon, definitely go check out the energy clearing series, whether if it is how to clear out your energy, do a cord cutting ceremony, or even the connect to your true self. And I'll put the links in the description below. But I do highly recommend you check out those resources. It's a 7-day trial if you just want to quickly poke in and check it out. But otherwise, if you're a member, I would love for you to take advantage of those resources. What the fuck is actually going on? We got 10 of Wands. Like, why are you holding on to this? There's a bit of a need, like the universe wants me to go a little bit deeper underneath the surface. You've been a little bit surface level. Ooh, not because you're being stupid. This person thinks you're stupid because they think they're stupid, so they project their stupidity onto you, then you think you're the one who's stupid. No, 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 no. You have actually been honoring their privacy. You actually know these people around you, they're hurt, you don't want to pry, they're very tender. Again, it's like walking on eggshells. But we got the Seven of Swords along with the Two of Cups, but there we go, the Hermit, along with the Magician, Knight of Cups. Yeah, it's this feeling like, if I do all the inner work, they're going to change. So there's, again, like, there's a little bit of this call out energy, and I want to be kind to you at this time because there's a real ask as of late for you to be really honest how you feel about something. Your feelings actually matter, because right here, I feel like you have been doing a lot of introspection, or you've been watching these people online. It's as though some of these individuals that you have been, these people who've been lying to you, these people who they're gaslighting you, making you doubt your sanity. I think a lot of you have started studying to figure out, is it me or is it them? At the end of the day, we can say, oh, well, it's them, but only you have the power to actually change. And some of you have been off track thinking that, oh, if I do the inner work, if I make myself a better person, then this other individual is going to come clean. And I need you to walk away from that mentality because, again, you're trying to subconsciously, I don't want to say force, but you're trying to force the universe to operate in a way that actually doesn't work for your greatest and highest good. Because I see over here, you're really exhausted. You're really overburdened because it's like, if I just do one more energy clearing, the person will show up and apologize. If I just do one more prayer of release and self-forgiveness, this other person will show up and everything will be fine. You're doing the first half correctly, but your expectations of how this could turn out really need to be revisited because you're still under the illusion that this person's going to change. And you have to assume that people don't change. They just adapt. That's what the magician does tend to do. The magician is a very adaptable, it's not even so much a person because this is major arcana, but it's sort of like it warps a reality that feels pleasing in the immediate term, making you think again that someone's going to come back. uh, it's the devil. There's an obsession energy that's being asked to be released, and the next 6 months are going to give you a really wonderful incentive to finally let go of an old obsessive habit. You're actually learning to overcome addiction. Even if you are, say, a sober person, or you're not somebody who succumbs easily to drugs and alcohol, but we can be addicted to sex. We can be addicted to drama. We can be addicted to ascension. That is one thing I want to point out to you. We can be so addicted to trying to get ourselves up to the next spiritual level, thinking that if we were more spiritual, we could bring this person back. Why are you, I'm sorry, we're stuck in this circle because spirit really wants to hit this home. Why are you trying to become more spiritual in order to attract the devil? Why are you trying to become more spiritual, thinking that just being more spiritual will bring back somebody who's just deceptive, blame shifty? They skirt around the law, they skirt around the rules. They're not here to hear this message. You are here. And it means that you are actually more in control of the situation. As you're coming out of this level of depression, your eyes do begin to open and you're asked to be kind to yourself. Like, it's okay to have a little bit of that sweet sarcasm, but I'm gonna say right off the bat, regardless, be very kind to yourself. What can you release at this time? Oh, the devil wants to show the Four of Swords. Chill out, babe. It's okay. We got King of Pentacles. This is going to be somebody that you thought you're going to have like a long-term relationship with. This could be with business, a loving, like a love partnership, a live-in love partnership. But you had the illusion, because we do have the magician here, there was a big, huge illusion that this person was stable. A King of Pentacles is supposed to be stable, rooted. They have good governship of how they work with their money, their family. But this person isn't, they aren't who it is that they claim to be. They put on the show of stability. They put on the show that they have money and wealth, but it's just a show. It's an act. Again, it is an illusion that this person has been showing you. What can you focus on? Like High Priestess. This is why you're probably struggling, and I do not blame you. Your subconscious is trying to talk to you. Your inner knowing is actively trying to guide you, but it requires you to embrace the silence. That's why I do enjoy creating Reiki meditation videos. Like, I'm definitely ADHD. I definitely enjoy a lot of stimuli, especially when I'm stressed out. And there's an ask if you're still sort of in this state where, no, I have to listen to music. No, I have to have noise in the background. No, I have to have the TV on while I'm doing my doom scrolling. First of all, no judgment. We've all been there. But there's going to be an ask for you to be a little bit quiet and try to find a time of day that makes sense for you. Like if you want to find any kind of stability in your own life, you can't find it with somebody else. You find it within yourself first, then you magnetize the right partners who are able to match you, encourage you, and create support. This person is just dragging you down, and you think that it's sort of like, oh, they'll drag me down and then we'll elevate together. That's not stable. That's not a healthy foundation. So there's an ask for you to start working the foundation from the inside out. Because if you're still struggling with depression, or if you're still struggling with any kind of low vibrational frequencies, first of all, it's okay. You're allowed to be there. You shouldn't stay there, but it doesn't make you a bad person. You know, some of you are going to be overcoming religious guilt, guilt of, even the stigma of mental illness, like for a few of you. But this is going to be a really good time to get into a journaling practice, to find healthy, well, healthy meditations, all meditations in my mind can be healthy, but finding a good schedule and a sense of foundation and a way that works with you when you're trying to build brand new skills, when you're trying to reestablish yourself. And especially if you're ADHD like me, you have to sort of build in the new habits with what you have going on already. Rather than saying, oh, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will do 1 hour of meditation. Now, if that's what floats your boat, great, go for it. But if you hear that and you feel the sinking in your heart, like, oh my God, that is so much energy for me to dedicate, listen to that. It means you're forcing yourself to do something that you don't want. And part of this reading is to help you really get back into touch with your gut feelings, to listen to your body. For me personally, I had to start building a habit of, before I start my workday, I do some journaling. That's worked naturally into my own day-to-day routine. For me, meditation, when I was still trying to find a good, healthy routine, it was before I went to bed, falling asleep, a younger version of me, I used to always pray myself to sleep. It's just like, I'm just gonna chat with God all the time. I want this out of life. Thank you for this. Da, 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 da. Like, there's a natural way that you can carve in this time to really tap into your subconscious, especially when it comes to your sleep. And I'm hearing, really getting to know what life is like on the astral realm, because a few of you guys are still struggling with some nightmares, because sometimes the deviled energy does bring out those nightmares, those fears, the worst thing that could happen. And you're being asked to not succumb to that fear. Sometimes in our dream state, we're shown stuff that will happen, and it could well up a lot of fear. It's actually not going to be as bad as your lizard brain may anticipate it being, but you are changing. And when the bad thing happens, when the worst case scenario happens, what's kind of nice is that when it happens, you know that, okay, I saw this coming, I did see it, and for some strange reason, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I can integrate this. If anything, if there's nothing else that you take away from today's video, how can you just integrate a lesson? Because if the lesson is learning to listen to yourself, means listening to your body, listening to the things that you want and desire out of life, getting to know yourself, this is an inside job. There's only so much an external person like me could tell you, to guide you. And I'm going to be here as much as I'll be here to help guide you for as long as you would like some help. But at the end of the day, you need to find the answers from within, and then trust that you know better what is best for you. And those who are outside of you, who are not supportive of the true you, it's time to get them out of your life and move on, so you can start magnetizing people who genuinely care about you. As you are able to just surrender, let go of these past situations with people who are go-betweens or gossips, shallow, who are just show-offs, who are fragile as fuck, making you think that you need to work harder for their love, adoration, and attention. Recognizing that you are your own priority and that you do actually have the power to create profound change from within. How are you going to feel at the end of all of this? We got the star. You have been actively manifesting something beautiful and new within your life. And all that it is that you are going to be experiencing and all that your subconscious mind is trying to show to you is all in the effort to bring you exactly what it is that you want. Some of you are just looking for wealth and stability. Others of you are seeking out love, friendship, community, even a renewed sense of family. But many more of you, you're stepping into your purpose. You're starting to activate your spiritual gifts. And there's so many different ways that you can weave your intuitive knowing. A lot of you are just going to start recognizing why you came to this planet in the first place. It almost feels intergalactic, this particular message, but it means that you're starting to rediscover your purpose and rediscover what it is that you need to do, because you have something that you need to do. And for some of you, you don't need to do anything. That's the scary part. There are some star seed beings out there, their whole purpose is just to exist. Can you just believe that maybe if you're one of those who you're just going to be paid to exist, it doesn't mean you actually have to do anything. It doesn't mean you have to go out and push yourself in these ways that these toxic individuals try to force down your throat. But there are many of us who've had this stigma of being quiet or being softer, of just sitting and taking in the scenery. This is an old wound, a slavery wound that's made you and your ancestors believe that if you stop moving, you die. This is that survival instinct that is going to be transmuted. So what kind of energy can my person be in order to help the transformation to become complete? Oof. Whoa, I got so much fire right now. I do have the spine of fire, the true self, passion, motivation, and purpose. Just trust at this time. You are manifesting your true purpose, your intuitive knowing, and this confidence that helps you recognize that unconditional love is true power and that forgiveness is the roadmap to get to that level of high vibrational love. Just take some time and work on some of your breath work on your meditation practice, be in your own energy, get to know who it is exactly who it is that you truly are. You're going to get instructions and downloads, and you're going to get so much confirmation that will let you know that you are on the right path. You may not have all the answers right away, but just trust that step by step on this journey, if you are honoring who it is that you truly are, you know you are going in the right direction. I'm just saying. Wow. Well, whoever it is that you are, damn, I sincerely hope that this helped. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you found this helpful, please make sure to like the video on the way out. Join our Patreon if you are looking for these meditative resources. I also do private readings and healing sessions if you need something a little bit more in depth. Otherwise, when I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.